Good morning, everyone. I am speaking from Japan. It's 10:50 in the morning of August 9th, exactly 80 years since an atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki in 1945. Thank you very much for joining us for this live streaming today. This is organized by ICAN, International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, and Peace Boat. My name is Rika Watanabe, an international coordinator of Peace Boat. I am in Tokyo, but I found a small element of Nagasaki here in Tokyo. So let me introduce a video of the monument, which was made after the Peace Monument in Nagasaki. Thank you very much. I hope everybody felt some element of Nagasaki. So first of all, let us connect with our friends in Nagasaki and have them report how the city and the people commemorate this day in rain, unfortunately. But let's call them. First of all, Yukino-san and An-san, are you there? Yay! Go ahead. Give us some reports from Nagasaki, please.
Yes, thank you, Rika-san. Good morning, everyone from Nagasaki. I am Yukino Yamaguchi from Nonyuki, Tokyo. And
I'm Yamazato from Kasui High School.
we were both born and raised in Nagasaki. 80 years ago, an atomic bomb was dropped by the United States and exploded. Of the 240,000 estimated population of Nagasaki City at the time, approximately 74,000 people were killed and another 74,000 people were injured. People suffered from atomic bomb sickness caused by the heat, blast, and radiation of the bomb. Even those who survived the bomb attack suffered from various illnesses as the time went on, and many are still suffering today after 80 years. At the moment, the peace ceremony is being held in the Peace Park, and various memorial ceremonies are being held throughout Nagasaki. In today's live streaming, we hope to give you a sense of how it is like in Nagasaki on 9 August. Unlike the time at the time of the atomic bombing, it is kind of raining in Nagasaki today, so we choose to stay in a vacation in room. But we can feel the atmosphere of remembrance in the city, of people reflects of events of the 8 years ago.
This is Yamazato Elementary School located 700 meters from the Hypocenter. It's summertime in Japan and elementary school students are off school. However, in Nagasaki, all children come to school today for peace studies and prayers. It's every year's tradition. Currently, the six guilds are holding a peace assembly to prepare for 11:02 a.m., the time the atomic bomb was dropped in Nagasaki. Every year they give speeches, sing songs about peace and Nagasaki bombings. Now we have Rin and Monet at the Hypocenter Park. Are you there?
Hello, I am Rin Takamura from the Japan Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, and
I'm Mone Yasumoto from Kasui High School. We are at the Hypocenter Park. The park is located directly below it is across the road from the Peace Park, where the Peace Memorial ceremony is now being held. The clique that you can see now has remained since the time of the atomic bombing. It is believed that this clique was filled with people who sought water after the bombing, never to return. The exhibit along the river is called Kids Guernica. This is a project in which children paint their thought on peace on canvases the same size as Guernica, an anti-war mural by the Spanish artist Picasso.
This project has been exhibited every year, and this year remains the 19th time. This year's theme is to live together, and the paintings are sent from all around the world, including Taiwan and the US, along with schools and preschools from Nagasaki. If you look around the park, you can see many groups of people in various groups. They are having their memorial ceremonies. This central monument, which stands directly below the Hypocenter, has been visited by family members of atomic bomb victims since early this morning. They put their hands together in front of it.
Thank you very much, Rin and Monet. We can hear the very a lively atmosphere of the Hypocenter in Nagasaki. Thank you very much. So today we're very delighted to be joined another guest who is Tim Wright from ICANN. He will be talking about ICANN's project, which he was involved in recently. Hi, Tim. Are you there? Can you hear us?
I can. Hi, Rika. It's a pleasure to be joining you from Melbourne, Australia. This is, of course, a very important occasion, not only to reflect on the harm inflicted on the people of Nagasaki 80 years ago, but also to rededicate ourselves to the cause of a nuclear weapon-free world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tim, thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to ask you a bit more to talk about the recent website that you launched recently. But let us get back to you later. So we have several minutes to go to 11:02 when the atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. So when 11:02 comes, we are going to stop talking and we're going to have a silent prayer together with you from all over the world. But while we are waiting for the time, we would like to hear a little bit more from the Hypocenter, if it's possible. Rin and Monet? Hello. Can you hear me? Rin and Monet? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please go ahead and talk a little bit about the statue behind you, please.
Okay. Thank you, Rika. So you can now see the various groups are holding memorial ceremonies. In the park, there's a ground zero memorial indicating the Hypocenter. This morning, since the dawn, we could see many people, particularly those who have lost their beloved ones in the atomic bombing, come here to pray.
Just across from the bridge that we were standing now, there is a statue of a child playing for peace. This statue was built in 1967 by donations from all around the world. The pedestal is embedded with stones which were gifted from various parts of Japan and the world, with their location engraved on each stone. Please allow me to read the poem which is carved on this monument. Under the atomic cloud, I clung to my mother and wept. So the sorrow of the children of Nagasaki may never be depleted. so the love of cannons may never thunder again. May the light sun shine forever upon the children of the world. The statue of peaceful mother and child in the Hypocenter Park symbolizes of life and the hope for peace. The image of the mother holding her children embodies the bond of family and the prayer for the future. In its quiet presence, it gently conveys a vow to never replay such a tragedy again.
Okay, thank you, Mone-san and Rin-san. Thank you very much. It's coming to 11:02 very soon, so let us stop speaking. And everybody on the live streaming, thank you very much for joining us for this silent prayer. When the bell rings for silent prayer, we will stop talking, and please join in the silence for a few moments as a tribute to death and pray for peace. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for the prayer. Yukino-san, now Yukino-san, An-san, how did you spend the moment? Although in the inside of the house, but how did you spend the moment there in Nagasaki? Please let us know.
Yes, this year makes 18 years since the atomic bomb, so I spent the moment thinking strongly that Nagasaki must be the last place to suffer an atomic bomb. In addition, there are areas where wars are currently taking place such as Ukraine, Gaza, and other parts of the world, so I felt strongly again that the war would end as soon as possible so that people all over the world could live in peace.
Thank you, Anne. And I pray for the repose of the souls of those who are killed in the atomic bomb 80 years ago today and after that. And I also express my gratitude for being alive today, and I pray into my prayer my determination to the victims that I will act for nuclear weapons abolitions and keep it and pass them on to the future generation. As this year's theme for the lives is the impact on children, let us talk a bit more about the casualties here. Here, this is the Yamazato Elementary School. Here at Yamazato Elementary School, about 1,300 students lost their lives. You can understand how tragic this is when you realize that the number of students enrolled at the time was about 1,600. In 1949, 4 years after the atomic bombing, the surviving children and teachers wrote a book about their experiences, titled "Living Under the Atomic Clouds". Dr. Takashi Nagai took the lead in producing this book. Dr. Nagai, a medical doctor, was himself exposed to the atomic bombing and devoted to the relief works for the survivors. Dr. Nagai sells Dr. Nagai used the sales of the book to build the monument the child in the school the monument to the child in the school. This memorial has become a symbol of Yamazato Elementary School. In addition to this, Yamazato Elementary School has various other facilities related to the atomic bombing, including an air raid shelter that has remained from the time an exhibition room, which is used as a place for children to learn about the history.
Thank you, Yukino-san and Nan-san. It is really unfortunate that you couldn't really go there
Yes,
to
it is
live
true.
stream from there in person. But thank you very much for introducing it by the photos. That was really colorful, and that's really, really memorable to think about it at school. So Yamazato High School, Yamazato Elementary School is still elementary school that students are going every day. Is that right?
Yes,
Wow,
it's,
that's lively. So at the same time, the living elementary school and at the same time exhibition.
yes, it is true. So at every moment, the student can learn about the histories, what was happening in the past out there. So it is really precious opportunity and the monuments in the school, I think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. And it's really memorable. And it's open to public, right? So if you can come to Nagasaki and we can visit the Yamazato Elementary School.
Yes, I really recommend to visit at once in life.
Yeah, thank you very much. And not only the Japanese visitors, but visitors from all around the world are suggested to visit the elementary school there to know what happens on children. Thank you very much, An-san and Yukino-san. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. So, Mone-san and Rin-san, are you there? You would like to speak a little bit more about the park? Or are you all done about the report from the park? It seems they are showing some of other various parts of the park.
Sorry, so we just kind of introduced about the park earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And right now the park is kind of crowded with so many people since there are a lot of like protests and other movement going on.
Right.
But as you can see, a lot of people are heading to the peace memorial ceremony now after the silence.
Right. Yeah. Can your camera go around or like a look around so that everybody on the live streaming can see and feel the atmosphere of the park? That is a very center of the Hypocenter Park. And we can hear some of the people speaking around the camera, which is really vibrant. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody at the
じゃあ
Hypocenter.
僕の感想
Yeah, Rin-san, do you want to share your feeling about the silence,
Yeah.
probably? Please go ahead.
Sorry for the mini confusion, but it was my first time to spend this special day at Nagasaki and my first time to do a silent in Nagasaki and here. And it was a very special moment for me. And I don't know how to express the tragedy of war that people have experienced back in 1945 on August 9th. But I definitely felt that it is very important that us young youth and also the people all around the world should remember this special day and actually visit Nagasaki on the day of August 9th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rin-san. Thank you, everybody. And thank you very much for letting us know the atmosphere of the day from Nagasaki. Thank you very much. So now, Tim, thank you very much for waiting for a long time. I know that ICANN recently launched a new website on the impact on children. can you tell us and give us some of the examples you found for the website? Tim, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Rika.
You're welcome.
It's estimated that there were more than 38,000 children who were killed in the nuclear bombings 80 years ago. And of those, around 15,000 were in Nagasaki. And our new Children's Peace Memorial website, which is childrenspeacememorial.org, features over 400 profiles of children from both cities with heart-wrenching details of their short lives, their horrible deaths, and the grief of surviving family members. So I would encourage all of our viewers here today to visit this site and to read some of those stories. One of the victims from Nagasaki who's featured on the site was Miyazaki Yuji, who was a third grade elementary school student. He was at home at the time of the attack with his mother, his 5-year-old brother and 3-year-old sister, and all of them were killed. And just days before the attack, Yuji had sent a letter and a family photo to his friend Saito Takeo. And we interviewed Takeo-san for this memorial. He's cherished that photo ever since, so for the past 80 years, and he granted us permission to use it for this memorial. Another victim from Nagasaki was 2-year-old Ogino Itsuko, who was playing at home with her siblings, and they had turned an empty wardrobe into a cubby house that morning with a straw mat as a door, having a great time until 11:02 a.m. when the force of the explosion caused the house to collapse on all 6 of them. They managed to escape the wreckage, but Itsuko died 2.5 weeks later from acute radiation poisoning, and her 5-year-old brother suffered the same fate at the end of September. This memorial also includes members of the Fujita family who were climbing a hill at the time of the attack on Nagasaki and were horribly burnt. In their injured state, they stumbled to a cave for shelter, and their mother Sano then watched as 4 of her children died one after another. And she wrote years later, "I kept thinking that human beings shouldn't die so easily." Another Nagasaki mother described caring for her 2-year-old son, Yoshitsugu, in his dying moments. And because the mother's face was so swollen and so disfigured by her burns, the young boy didn't recognize her as his own mother as he was dying. So these are just some of the very tragic stories that are featured on the site, and you can search specifically for those from Nagasaki. But as I said at the beginning, there are more than 400 of them, and they contain all sorts of vivid details of what happened on the day of the attacks and in the aftermath. And we really hope that by sharing these, we can raise public awareness of the true horror of nuclear weapons and ensure that Nagasaki forever remains the last city in the world to suffer a nuclear attack.
Right. Thank you very much, Tim. Yeah, this was a very big project, and then probably it took you some time to collect those data and information and sort them out and put them up on the website. What was the most difficult thing for you to put it up on the website?
Actually, we found it much easier to find stories of children from Hiroshima. So we dedicated a lot more time to finding the stories of Nagasaki children. We wanted to ensure that there was proper representation of Nagasaki. We worked with some local partners, the Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum, the Nagasaki newspaper, Nagasaki Shimbun, as well as local groups such as the Research Center for Nuclear Weapons Abolition, a testimonial society in Nagasaki. And it was very difficult to get to piece together the information to create full profiles, but we're really pleased with what we've managed to produce. And we encourage members of the public who might have known children at the time, or the descendants or of family members, to write to us if they would like additional children to be included in the memorial.
Right. Thank you very much, Tim. That was a very important point. So everybody on this live stream, if you happen to know some other children who were victimized on the atomic bomb in Nagasaki and also Hiroshima, please let us know. We are still collecting the data and information to put them up on the website. Tim, thank you very much. And this is a very wonderful the website that we can always access to and remember what happened to the children. And we all used to be children, of course. And we can imagine how difficult it was for the parents and for the family members to go through losing the children and kids. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you.
So thank you very much all for joining us today. We hope this live streaming inspired and encouraged you to learn more about the humanitarian consequences of nuclear weapons and long-term suffering that Hibakusha had to face and is now facing after 80 years. Let us take actions from today and from this moment and work together to achieve a nuclear-free world. Thank you very much for joining. And I would like you to see everybody's face now at the very end of this live streaming. Thank you very much for joining, and see you somewhere, sometime soon. Bye.